Serious and Selena's Outcast. Once a week, we'll be giving you a bit of Mafia history. Got my new microphone, and I'm all ready to do the top 5 wealthiest Italian-American mob bosses during the 20th century. Now, I stuck with Italian-American because there were actual criminals that were bosses that were not Italian, that were a lot wealthier, like the Kennedy father. Extremely wealthy. But in this video, we are going to stick to the Italian-American mafia bosses, Cosa Nostra, 5 top wealthiest Cosa Nostra bosses in the United States during the 20th century. So here we go. So number 5 is Tony Accardo. Tony Accardo was the boss of the outfit in Chicago. He actually worked directly for Frank Nitti and Al Capone when he first started. He was a participant in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. When Capone went to prison for tax evasion, Frank Nitti took over and actually made Accardo a boss, and he was able to establish his own crew. And he made a ton of money through loan sharking, extortion, stolen goods, gambling, bookmaking, anything to make money. When Frank Nitti died, Paul Ricca actually took over as boss and made Accardo the underboss. Paul Ricca actually goes to prison, and Accardo becomes the boss. During Accardo's reign, he literally had the Chicago outfit dominate organized crime throughout the Midwest. He expanded into new ideas like slot machines, vending machines, and drugs. He then expanded into Las Vegas, and he was able to use all casinos had to use his slot machines. By the time that he handed over the outfit to Sam Giancana in 1957, he was worth $25 million. In today's money, that would be $270 million. Number 4, Carlos Marcello. Carlos Marcello was the boss of New Orleans. He was actually the boss of all Louisiana. Carlos Marcello actually took over the entire illegal gaming operations in Louisiana by 1947. He had a reputation of working great with the other mob bosses in the United States. Most notably, Frank Costello. Him and him had a great relationship. He was able to smuggle illegal slot machines from New York City to Louisiana, New Orleans, and where they were able to make a ton of money. He also worked well with the Chicago outfit, the Tampa Mafia, and especially all the heads of the 5 families in New York City. It was actually said that he participated in the assassination of JFK, but that's obviously all hearsay. We don't know totally. He actually was able to cut a deal with the Chicago outfit, who was in charge of Las Vegas, where he would get a piece of the skim from Las Vegas because of some muscle influence he had in Florida. It was supposedly like some kind of 3-way deal with Tampa, Chicago, and Louisiana. In his height, Carlos Marcello was worth about $30 million. Today, that would be worth about $310 million. Number 3, Charles Lucky Luciano. Charles Luciano is considered the father of modern-day organized crime. He established a commission in 1931, and he was the boss of what is now known as the Genovese crime family. He actually rose to become the most powerful mob boss in the United States. He made a ton of money through a ton of different ways, in which I'm going to read to you because I couldn't memorize them all. So here we go. Gambling, bootlegging, extortion, racketeering, prostitution, loan sharking, labor unions, garbage hauling, construction, garment district, and trucking. In 1931, his net worth was to be $25 million. And in today's money, that would be $550 million. Number 2, Fat Tony Salerno. That's right. This one was a surprise to me, and I'm sure it's a surprise to you too. Fat Tony Salerno was the street boss of the Genovese crime family. He actually made millions of dollars with a drug trade operating out of East Harlem. He also had the largest numbers racket operation in New York City, that it was said to be making $50 million a year during the 1970s and 80s.
A shy man in the handcuffs is Anthony Fat Tony Salerno.
Organized crime isn't what it used to be.
You got something to say, Tony? Thank you.
The question was, Do you have anything to say? And he most famously said, go fuck yourself. During his height, Tony Salerno was worth $600 million. Today, in American dollars, that would be $1 billion. Number one, wealthiest Cosa Nostra boss in the United States during the 20th century is none other than Al Capone. Everyone knows the story of Al Capone, born in Brooklyn, moved to Chicago in 1919, worked directly for Johnny Torrio. Johnny Torrio was the head of the Italian-American organized crime in Chicago at the time. He made a ton of money through gambling, loan shark, and racketeering through Johnny Torrio. In 1925, Al Capone took over as head of the outfit in Chicago. While he was boss, liquor was outlawed. Prohibition began. And he made a fortune bootlegging, smuggling liquor in from Canada into the United States. He actually invested a lot in real estate as well. In 1936, he finally went to prison for tax evasion. He actually was released in 1941 and died of a heart attack in his home in Florida in 1947. At his height, Al Capone was worth $100 million. In today's money, that is considered $1.5 billion. Well, I hope you enjoyed that segment. But make sure you like and subscribe and share this, because I'm coming back once a week. We're going to be doing some segments on Mafia history.